Rosario was a client who told me that her primary reason for her session was to find out if she was going to hell. At the time of her QHHT session, she was well into her 70s. She had been raised in a very religious family. She grew up going to church with her mother every day. However, her parents were far from saintly. Her mother beat Rosario and her sister with a stick throughout their childhood. I often ask my clients, what is your earliest memory? How far back can you go? Rosario's first memory was of being beaten by her mother. It was before her sister was born, so she thought she was about 2 years old. But the physical abuse from her mother was nothing compared to the emotional abuse from her father. He never, and I mean never, acknowledged Rosario. If he wanted her or her sister to do anything, he would tell Rosario's mother to tell the girls. Her father had literally never spoken to her directly. Rosario learned to be a parent from her parents, as most of us do. So when Rosario became a mother, she repeated the same patterns with her children. And her husband was as absent and almost as uncommunicative as her father. Rosario was a mother of 5 children before she was 25. She was an overwhelmed and isolated mother. And she told me that she was not proud of how she treated her children. She was convinced that she was going to burn in the fires of hell for eternity for how she passed along hurt and pain to her children. At this late date in her life, she wanted confirmation of her damnation. But in my terms, she was seeking the healing of generational trauma from the higher self. In a deep, deep state of trance, the higher self told Rosario, she is scared to let it go. Fear is all she's known. To forgive is to release it. There was a part of Rosario that was afraid that if she let go of the fear, there wouldn't be anything left. Her ingrained stories about herself as needing to be afraid to be a good girl, a lesson from her mother, and her unworthiness stories about not being precious, a lesson from her father, was lived out throughout her life. They were passed along to her children because that was all she knew of parenting. And that was all she knew of herself. But the higher self knew otherwise. They told her that once she could forgive, she could release the fear. To forgive is to release the fear. Not only was there no eternal damnation, but the fear also wasn't her. It was something that she was holding on to, just because it was all she had known. It wasn't her. It was a metaphorical anchor around her neck. In her QHHT session, the higher self helped her process forgiveness and to release the generational trauma. They gave her the physical sensation of being without fear. They helped Rosario see her whole and holy self. Unfortunately, many people want to hold on to their hurt. For some, it is familiar. It's like a child with a stinky, worn-out blanket that they think they need to carry around. It's just a habit. And it can be scary to let go of the hurt. If you've always had it, who will you be without it? Will you even be you? Letting go of hurt thrusts you into the unknown. For others, there are clear advantages to playing the role of the victim. It can create sympathy. It can be needed to maintain interpersonal dynamics with friends and family. It can garner attention and things. Some people may hold on to their hurt to manipulate advantages as a victim. Some people hold on to their hurt because they think if they heal, it will let a villain off the hook. They think, I have to be angry to let him know what he's done. Some people think they have to sentence themselves to a life of hurt to punish a villain, or they stay stuck in the role of a martyr. There are lots and lots of reasons why people hold on to their trauma, and I have no negative judgment toward those who do hold on. They will heal when it is time. Your subconscious will point to the readiness for forgiveness. Wanting to be different, to have a reset on your life, means that you're ready.